This PLL Picks Week 6 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 325 times your entry with their Pick 8. Sign up with SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks from Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
It's a packed house over here.
Oh, it is. It is. Joining us in studio to talk a little lax, the lax laddie himself, the man in the box, Mr. C.J. Sullivan. What's happening, CJ?
What's up, guys? It is packed house. I had to come in for today for the, you guys are back. Yes.
Get you rocking back in studio. We're all back. We did our PLL All-Star weekend podcast
guys
remotely.
Back from secret locations.
Yeah.
Very secret. And I will say I did try to have a PLL conversation that led to one of the more hilarious things. Family of apparently they played in the league maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
What?
Down there for an unrelated wedding.
Okay.
The guy who played was not there, but we were at a breakfast place, and it was like I was trying.
How did the conversation start?
I was asking the waiter, who was a hipper young Mexican dude who we had previously been talking about American football. I go, hey, I'm trying to watch some lacrosse later. Where would be the best place to find it? And this led to.
He probably thinks that's like a code for Vicodin, right?
He had no idea what lacrosse was. First of all, second of all, he absolutely. Anyway, he tried to help me though. He was like, "Oh, there's a sport." Anyway, so the table next to me, they're like, "Oh,
all right."
And yeah, so international sport. At least
you should have warned them. Now, granted, I don't even know where to watch that at home in my own country. I was just wondering if you guys would know.
Here's where I embarrassed me. I go, yeah, we should have a catch later. The wife was embarrassed at that point.
Oh yeah. Well,
so I
very nice little all-star tout. The under 46.5.
Yes.
I mean, it was not even close to hitting the over. He also gave out Holman most accurate 2-1. That was a nice little cash there.
That was one of those where they don't watch the games, right? Based on our evaluation.
Yeah,
that was just not lack of awareness.
Well, it really
newbie always tells us about this, but we saw it in the wild.
And I saw it after the fact, but it was newbie had it as his baby whale play. The Holman, and because the fact that he was 2-1 and he was such an obvious play, your gambling brain is like, oh, it's a trap. But then you have to realize this is the PLL. They're not smart enough to set the traps.
Right. There are no traps.
Absolutely not. Now we found that on our own without newbie. By the way, I want to tout ourselves.
No, that was Bet Detective was on that case early.
No, we came up together as a team. Team Dodge. We came up with it. Roll Dodge. But yeah, that felt good. And I did see that a newbie was on him. And I just made us feel better even about it. Now, who won the other events? I did not see any of the other events. I could not even find where to look up who won the other events.
It was tough to track some of the other results.
It didn't matter. It was more of a celebration.
It was a celebration.
It was a celebration, and almost a good transition, because once again we're celebrating in a land that's foreign to all these teams.
All right.
I don't understand. I love the PLL. I want to start by saying that. This is like when you're about to talk about the cousin that is complete, like no one in the family likes.
Listen, I love David, but he loves the drink. He's got some issues, David.
He's been working on it. We're all in support of him.
You learned that from the other side. Of
with this weekend, this will be 3 weekends now, I guess, if you include the All-Star, right? Where they're hosting where there is no team. So there's like no home field. Has there been more games without a home team than there has been with their home?
So yeah, we've had what 4 homecoming weekends and 3 non-homecoming weekends. And so I understand you want to spread the sport.
Yeah.
But this is a league that just got home cities.
Right.
And so maybe left foot, right foot. I will say where I was going with this, Fairfield, Connecticut. Interesting location.
Yeah.
Is this where the league office is? Is this some more East Coast bias?
I mean, Connecticut does feel like boat shoes, lacrosse. It's kind of a hotbed.
I know, but you already had the Boston Cannons.
That's true.
You have New York, which is upstate New York. It's kind of in the middle of those things. We need to spread this out.
I think Fairfield, Connecticut, probably more of a Giants town than a Patriots town. If I was a betting man, but yeah, no. Yeah, all right. But it also does balance the schedule because it allows us to have one of those everyone plays because we have 8 teams. Situation.
no back-to-back situation, no buys.
Which I do like that. I think when you have 8 teams, it works out so perfectly to not create artificial bye weeks.
Yeah, now they should probably just do no home teams whatsoever. Just go to the different towns.
Well, this is where we crack.
Lacrosses.
We destroy these spring leagues and these smaller leagues who they try different variations on, how to do it without having to travel all over the country. And it does seem like not having a home element is weird. So I like that they're trying a home element in the form of like a weekend derby. But I will say these random other cities don't make sense to me. Is this a spread? Does Fairfield, Connecticut need more lacrosse gospel?
Fairfield.
Why aren't we at an ACC college or something like that?
Fairfield sounds like that should have been the All-Star or, like you said, league offices. Louisville was more confusing.
Clearly, Louisville was doling out some money for events over the last couple of years because
some horse money coming out there.
They got that derby money.
Where they decide? Is it like a Spirit Airlines hub that they're like? What is the decision making on these stadiums? Is it like you, Ryan, and your daughter's like travel soccer where they are playing Southern California teams in Vegas?
The amount of times
we can find a field in LA.
Yeah, like you'll hear me talking about it later this year. But when I go to Utah to play a tournament against a bunch of teams from Southern California,
that makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, just hit me in the nuts right now. but I'm gonna guess that this is. Maybe one of the West Coast. They're anti-West Coast clearly, so maybe one of the West Coast cities not working out.
That's for sure. They're definitely anti-West Coast. Yeah,
I did read a thing that some of this is tester. Like this is how they test out if a market is feasible. Yeah, I don't know. It's a Northeast sport, I guess. Maybe this is the Belichick weekend.
Oh,
this is the weekend we get to see Belichick in the crowd constantly.
Billy.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
He did just come out and say he's coaching next year.
I heard that, and they call him Billy now or something too. I heard.
Well, he's got that young girlfriend. He's got he's got a mouth to feed. He's got to earn some bucks.
Well, he needs to get out of the house. He can't learn any more TikTok dances to fucking keep her happy.
Never in a million
Come
years.
on, Bill, do it.
Did I think I would be interested in Bill Belichick's social life?
Yes,
and did I also, in the same time, think Nick Saban's actually good on TV? I don't know if you saw him.
Oh, Saban's great.
I mean, I'm getting real off the reservation here, but Saban went after Alabama.
Yeah,
at the SEC media days, basically,
really?
didn't pick him to win. That's for sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so.
Hater.
It's a crazy time to be alive.
It always tilts me though when those people are good at TV because you could have been doing this the entire time. Instead, you're drinking a 2-liter thing of Coke for your money brand, and yelling at us for not worshiping Alabama enough. Like, go to hell, Saban.
Him testifying before Congress,
right?
My wife said these kids are all about money. Like you of all people should talk to me, Saban.
This son of a bitch.
All right, let's see. We got a couple things to get to and get to some picks. Alex Cobbler, congratulations! You won last week's Patreon Pick'em. This week's Patreon Pick'em prize $100 Circa ticket. Kramer and I will be out at the Las Vegas Circa next week, filling in for Follow the Money. If you're up early or on the East Coast, 7 o'clock East, 4 a.m. Pacific.
Don't tell people East Coast time because we have to wake up in West
we
Coast
are starting the show 4 a.m. Pacific Monday through Friday. Still going to be doing some pods later on in the day, but perfect time if you're in Vegas coming up next week. Come out, say what's up at the Circa, and of course, sign up for the Circa Millions, Circa Survivor, $16 million in guaranteed prizes. Derek being a true gentleman, no rake there. All the prizes go back to you, the contestants. Massive overlay opportunity right now. We love getting down in these contests, and you can sign up in Vegas, sign up in Reno, but of course, come out to Vegas. Good excuse to come out to Circa. We got CJ here and his road to 10 million. Maybe you can snipe the 10 million from CJ. Circa Survivor. I always just look at this, especially with the Survivor. There might be one year where you win NFL Survivor in your office pool. Wouldn't you feel like a complete idiot if you won your NFL Survivor pool and we're not in the Circa Survivor as well? Don't let that happen to you. Get in circusports.com and use our proxy service at footballcontestproxy.com. Promo code SGP, $50 off the proxy fee, and as well Underdog Fantasy. Use our promo code SGPN. Get a nice deposit bonus up to $250 in bonus cash. They had the higher lower for LeBron. That was it. They set that at a half point. Obviously, look to the higher there. They have a Joker special as well for a half point there. I hit the wall. I faded Bronny James. I mean, this is what's great about Underdog. They have everything, including PLL higher and lowers as well. Michael Sowers, of course, get down on the higher there, points, goals, whatever they're going to end up offering. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Let's get to it, Kramer.
All right. Well, like I said, we're in a foreign land, far, far away for some of these teams. Not for all the teams. We are in the beautiful city of Fairfield, Connecticut. All of us are from the East Coast, and none of us have anything nice to say about the state of Connecticut in whole. I dare ask someone from the East Coast, say something nice about Connecticut. What do they say? It's known for speeding tickets. It's really a horrible
ESPN's
place.
Campus is there. That's it.
Well, and after that tight end who played for the Patriots, Bristol has a different light shown on it.
I got a lot of family from Hartford, South Windsor, all of that, and they will all agree with you and talk shit about Connecticut.
They're all not fans.
The only thing that you can say nice is that the Whalers had a dope logo.
No, the
Denver
highlight of Connecticut.
And you can see a lot of actual whale tails. The left coast really is better in that regard. Denver, the Outlaws, they're not heading anywhere. They're taking on the Philly Water Dogs. 3 p.m. on the left coast Friday game. Alert. We have Friday lacrosse. I will say I do like this. I appreciate them going into a window where they're at least going to be unique and possibly draw my eyes away from doing. It's great because we have the VSiN show in the afternoon, so we just get PLL before and live sweats during the show. The Water Dogs laying 1.5 minus 120 with the spread. Minus 165 on the money line. Denver plus 130. 24 is the total. I will say one note I have this week, macro totals seem to be settling into a typical place where New York plays in a game that has the highest total on the board, and it's a couple goals north of everything else, and everything else is right around 24. So Denver again in the futures market, settling down into the second long shot. Philly not far away at 10-1. Sean, how you feeling? Because you called him out last week.
Yeah. I'm still mad at him. If you missed our compelling PLL All-Star podcast, I was fired up. I'm still pissed off at this team. How did they not get a goal in the second half?
On his birthday in vacation.
You ruined my birthday, making me yell at you. The Water Dogs 1-4 with a -3 scoring differential. How does that happen? Meanwhile, the Denver Outlaws, they're a complete opposite. 2-2 with a -12 scoring differential. They had that one miracle Brendan O'Neill game, and they had one other win. And then other than that, they've looked horrible. I mean, Brendan O'Neill, we gave out some future stuff for him. I mean, he's what now down to 10-1 for rookie of the year. I still think there's some value in that because of how talented he is, but this is crazy. I think you got to take Philly here, but man, can I really lay the 1.5?
No.
No.
Is there a worse ATS team than Philly?
Yeah, there's absolutely no way I could lay with
Philly 1-4.
Gross.
1-4 ATS in 2024. 1-3 ATS is favorites. The strong play is the under. The under versus the Water Dogs versus this head coach Tim Soudan. And they've had Tim Soudan's number 1-4 straight up in ATS. Tim Soudan is against the Water Dogs, but I don't know. Like we keep talking, they're the old man coach. Maybe he needs to step down, give Kamala Harris a chance. He seems like he's lost it out there. No, like everyone keeps going. He is a legend. He's a coaching legend, and he keeps going. Oh, we're gonna turn it around. When? It's the second half of the season, post All-Star break. I'm on the Dogs and the under. But I guess take the -165 because you cannot.
You're gonna lay -165 with the Water Dogs.
Yes.
Ooh,
Denver is really bad. I mean, Denver's coming off a game where they had 6 goals?
What
4 goals. They lost by the Atlas by 13 goals.
This game's gonna have a combined. If we could do some sort of alt total. Give me the under all the way down. Ladder it all the way down.
This is like
shoot it all the way down.
One of these teams is going to be in single digits, and it might be the Outlaws.
I'm
again.
6-2 with my totals over the last 2 game weekends.
The Outlaws have 12 goals combined in their past 2 games.
Well,
CJ, what are you doing?
Oh, CJ's about to serve you up, I think.
I mean, if you look beyond those numbers.
Oh yes.
Oh wow! All right.
Take us deep. Where's my snorkeling mask?
We're gonna see in a couple game here when we previewed. They were going up against the absolute phenom that is Leon Endeman for New York.
All right, we got our sticks out.
Right, that's goalie. Of course, he only let up 4, and then it kind of quit it before that. And before that, the game before that, I believe they was that when they went against Blaze.
Blaze.
I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the 2 greatest goalies in the league, maybe of all time.
That's fair.
Now, Brendan O'Neill, Michael Sowers, Duke teammates, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
First time.
And if you know how to play Brendan O'Neill, you can slow him down.
Well, you can slow him down, but he's going to run right through you. He's power and strength.
Yep.
Sowers has got that lightning fast speed. Philly will finally have at least a coin toss with faceoffs. Zach is about 50%. Weirman's about 57% for Denver. I think these 2 are going to put on a show, though. O'Neill and Sowers, Duke teammates. This is the only time they're playing each other all year. Which how is that possible? Too? You have 8 teams in the goddamn league. How are you guys only playing once?
It's almost impressive they figured out a way not to have them play each other.
I mean, the other 2 teams have played like 3 times already against each other. Utah has played what? I mean,
you don't understand the divisions, so CJ.
So I am not against Brendan O'Neill. First of all, he's still played less games than anyone. He's only got 4 games. He's got 13 points, but in 4 games, he can have one of his Brendan O'Neill games, i.e., the Brendan O'Neill game that he had, the only time Denver had that week too. I still want him in 100-1 with MVP. I know he's 30 points behind Teets, but that's just a couple. He's got 1 game in pocket. He gets that in there. He's now he's down by 20. Then he got a nice little Teet injury. We're still in there for 100-1. Point is, I'll take Denver plus 1.5 against this disgusting Water Dog team.
You and me both.
Do we forget who this Water Dog team is? I know they have more tallies, and they finally got a couple double points in the goal differential. But take away last week's game against the phenom Endeman for New York, and Denver's not that bad as far as scoring. And, of course, take away the Blaze. They're one of the top scoring teams in the league. You take against them too. The defense, not nearly as tough here versus Philadelphia. Give me Denver plus 1.5. That's a steal of a line. I like them on the outright as well. You guys are trying to sell me on that under. I mean, that under does seem like the play, but I also think Brendan O'Neill and Sowers is going to go at it, and it's going to be a nice show. I would like to play those props. I don't know if any whale belugas or anything like that, but I like them all.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
I like them both to score a hat trick.
I was just looking up. They did release. They have Connor Kelly for the Water Dogs, 2 points. I like to hire that on Underdog Fantasy. Also interesting, how many Connors are in the PLL, because I was doing a name match
It's very
to try and
it's a very white name.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing there.
To try and find Connor Kelly's stats. How many Connors do you think are in the league, Kramer?
I mean, I'd say a lot. Sorry, I was scrolling through the chat. Tomcat was trying.
Duke Lacrosse knows how to party.
Mm-hmm.
They were
That's an inside
eventually
joke,
vindicated, but yes.
Actually, I think that was one of the cases where it turned out that there was a lot of things made up.
Yes,
and some things probably happened, but it did seem like maybe the world overreacted.
No, it's completely. And they did fine financially, by the way. Those two fucking players.
Yeah, I think they got a big check from Rolling Stone.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a 30 for 30 on that one.
Yeah.
So Kramer, what were you saying? How many Connors? Give me a guess. 8 teams.
I always play this game.
8 teams. I'll set the total.
I'll say 1.5
set the
per
line.
team.
I'll set the line at 6.5.
Oh, I was gonna say 12. 1.5 per team.
There are 5 Connors.
I said a good line.
You said a
talking
great
about?
line.
That's not
You were
that
dialed
good.
in.
That's not that good.
Connor Schellenberg, Connor Fields.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through all the Connors.
Yeah, that's too
I knew
much.
Schellenberg.
Also, shout out to me, who I said Michael Sowers was a dark horse MVP candidate. I caught some flack in the chat. He is only 2 points behind Asher Notling, who is second in points. Now, granted,
Who was my pick, by the way?
granted, he is 23 points behind Jeff Teat, who is definitely going to win. But
Is he definitely going to win?
He deserves the nominee of dark horse.
He deserves the chalk number. And since we're doing self shout outs, Asher Nolting was my preseason play.
You new to the show, CJ? Sean loves a good
So,
tout.
I like
CJ.
a self shout out.
CJ, Denver plus 1.5 under 24. Is that what I'm hearing?
So
Or are you going over?
We're forced to do total. You know what? I'm going to go contrarian. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over. I don't have to play total. I want to say over. I'm not getting Brendan O'Neill Sours. Let's go. Let's start it up.
Kramer, what do you do?
I also don't have to play a total, but I want to play a total under. And come on, Sean, you didn't want to play Denver. Or are you Philly?
I'm considering.
Give me Denver.
I'm considering taking Denver plus 1.5 as a wake up call to the Water Dogs.
Why are you taking plus 1.5?
I'll see what the chat thinks.
All right, I'll take 1.5. And the money line's juicy. Stay tuned to later in the show. You ready to move on?
Yeah, I'll save that. That sounds like a pole position.
The pole A.
The pole A position.
I like that.
If you will.
I like that. It's like an option trader. All right, next up, we got the.
Boy.
Well, I shouldn't say the. Yeah, CJ's Carolina Chaos, which, by the way, still maybe the baddest mascot in all of sport right now. The is there another Scorpion mainstream sports team? They're taking on the Whip Snake, so this is a very interesting matchup.
A lot of rattling
in the wild. A snake versus a scorpion.
That's a tough matchup.
That's some shit you would watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
Minus 1.5 for the Whip Snakes, plus 125 for that number, minus 160 for the plus 1.5. That's because the money line's right down the middle, minus 115 each way.
I love this game.
23.5 is the total. Seems high for a Blaze game, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, is Blaze hurt?
Are these bookers fucking
what are they
drunk?
doing?
What is going on?
What did we say?
here?
We said if we were booking, the Chaos game would be 2 goals less than every other game every week.
We until
21,
further
21,
notice.
21.
Until further notice,
And
Blaze
also
unders.
And it's not like the Chaos offense is lighting it up.
No, they're
offense,
not. No, they're
CJ.
not. They're not. But that's not our style.
They're doing their part for this.
They don't like offense.
For this under. Last time they played, you have to go back to June 29th, where they lost 10-6.
Yeah.
Like the under is the smash.
Yeah, that is
play
crazy. They're coming off a lot of rest.
Coming off a lot of rest. They have not played since June 29th.
Yeah. I mean, against the Water Dogs.
Yeah, it was against the Water Dogs in a deadlock under game.
That the Water Dogs only win.
It is the early win. That was a bad. That was a bad situation though. That was a winless Water Dogs. This matchup, if you want to go offensive, Maryland. These Whip Snakes are tough to hammer down too. We thought they were going to be terrible, the worst team in the league, and then they bounced back with 2. Then I predicted their one loss. The reason why this total is 23.5 because Maryland is 4-1 to the over.
Yes.
But that means nothing. You did not go against Blaze.
No.
And
I mean, it's great because it's given us a higher,
For sure.
number.
These numbers should. I can't believe they're going to be in the teens pretty soon.
They've given up 19 goals over points over their last 2 games.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've only scored like 10.
But you're right. The offense not great for Carolina. Josh Byrne, the lefty, as you would like, 15. He's got about 15 points. A little inaccurate, but if he can tighten that up, they should be no problem. Maryland, of course, with a 3rd round steal of TJ Malone.
Oh yeah,
that was a great pickup.
Amazing draft pick. He's got 17 points in 5 games.
We should live stream the PLL draft next year.
Yeah, could be with that.
I don't know if we're gonna have a ton of competition on that one.
But looking at this, I like my Chaos to bounce back. They're going to get a win. I still like them as for the futures. They got Blaze. They're locked in. They need to get a win. But the unders. I mean, this is correlated as well.
So you're taking the under 23.5, and you like the Chaos.
Yeah.
On the money line is -160. That to me.
No. The -115 each way.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at that. Would
Come
be
on, Sean.
We're
gonna get crushed right now for this. We're gonna get crushed. You know what I'll do? I'll make this look smaller so it's not confusing. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the whips. I like TJ Malone. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So Carolina's been. It just feels like this is going to be a grinded out game.
Yeah.
We're taking the under. I don't think you take the under if you like Maryland. That would be my take.
Maryland's going to want to.
We do this all the time in the National Football League, Sean. Sometimes if you like the under, you probably like the dog. So yeah, I'm with CJ. I'll ride with his Chaos. I'm definitely taking an under. I think the parlay could end up being just unders and money lines. We'll see see if there's any non-cowardly shops out there willing to take an 8-leg parlay in the PLL.
Yeah, I'll take the Chaos.
see what we can do with that. I mean, see if I can match my $500 bet on Patrick Cantlay at 50-1. That doesn't look very good right
now. The good folks over at Underdog, I think they got some pretty decent limits on the PLL because I just got down on Blaze.
I've hit the limit. We've been there before.
Blaze higher 13.5 saves, and Connor Kelly of the Water Dogs higher 2 points. I'm in on that.
Wow. All right. Just a random drive-by from the PLL. I like that. Or from the
what's Brendan O'Neill's points at there?
I don't see it. They only have like a couple guys up per game.
Yeah, really. And they don't have
they offer more as you get closer.
Day of.
Yeah. They're worried about sharps like us.
All right. So final answer. We're all taking Carolina. We're all taking
sharps like us who are going to miss out on Brendan O'Neill's 100-1 ticket twice this season.
Oh man, it really would be the greatest story if he comes back and then wins it one more time.
Absolutely. We were given this gift of being able to get it again. What was he down to 5-1 after that one huge game? And we were praying for an injury.
Pisses me off.
If you really know the market, you could have cleaned up in this thing.
All right. Next up, we got the new. Now we're jumping.
Did Sean pick? Did you go Chaos?
Yeah, I'm going Chaos.
Oh,
all right. Jesus.
No,
all
but
three of us.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's it's getting to be that one of those games. Maybe I should I switch my pick?
I mean, these whip snakes. It's hard to pin these whip snakes down. If I know one thing, like you said, if I lose a golf ball over there to Angelique's course and I see a whip snake and a scorpion going at it.
Whip snake. When you said cool logo, I thought you were going to talk whip snakes.
No. I see those two fighting. They can keep the ball. Okay, I will pill another one out of the bag because these are two deadly desert animals.
Oh wow,
killers.
I was sorry. I was just watching some videos to see what happens in the wild once
snake versus scorpions.
You'd be surprised. Scorpions won each one of these battles so far. So
I forgot to bring out. Oh, forget it.
Did you bring a scorpion?
No, I didn't bring a scorpion, but us Carolina Chaos, we have a tradition, a bow tie tradition that has a scorpion on it.
Oh,
and whoever wins the MVP of the game, they get to wear the bow tie all week. The bolo tie. I'm sorry, not bow tie, bolo tie.
Phillip Rivers style.
Yeah, bolo tie with a scorpion on it, though.
Kramer, I think this could be a legit business right off.
What's that?
We get CJ, nice little crate.
A bolo tie?
No, a nice little crate for a pet scorpion to go in with a little ladder. So,
whoa, I like that.
Scorpion,
CJ's like,
Tiny.
sweet.
Can he fit under Spuds here? Maybe
Yeah.
kind of.
a little pet scorpion.
Yeah.
And when they win the championship, we break the cage open.
We let him loose. We free him.
free the scorpion.
Yeah. That thing will free itself.
Yeah, I think I'd feel more comfortable with the bolo tie, to be honest with you. But
Scorpions.
I do like that ladder, though. I'd like to see a scorpion.
Oh.
I bet a scorpion can have a great time with that ladder.
Yeah.
That way it gets that tail curling up behind it.
Give
you
it
know?
some food. Give it some
Yeah.
whips. Give it some whip snake.
Oh,
for
it'll
food.
eat up some whip snakes, for God's sakes.
All right. And we matriculate down the field over to Saturday. Noon on the West Coast, the New York Atlas taking on the Boston Trash Cannons. Cannons are the dog here. Plus, even though they're kind of the home team, although as we mentioned earlier, a little bit of a this is a battleground.
This
city.
is a split the difference, like
This
you
is a
said.
battleground city.
Like when they
for
do the
these-
specials on where they draw the line between Patriot fans and Giant fans. You know,
you know what? I did.
There's one guy with a
Right.
split jersey, Atlas Cannons.
There's always one bar that sits right there that's split half and
yeah.
half.
We
Oh,
went
yeah.
to this small town Connecticut bar and polled people. Who are they rooting for in the
Right.
Super Bowl? Giants or Patriots?
Well, they remember when they did that at the Brat Stop for Packers Bears on Monday Night Football. Shout out to the Brat Stop,
Yes.
the only place in America that was playing the Sims on the TVs at a bar.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
the Boston Trash Cannons are the dog here. Plus 1.5, plus 100. Got to go minus 130 to go the other way. Atlas minus 175 on the money line. Who, by the way, are the runaway chalk to win the whole thing at plus 185.
They have Birmingham Stallions vibes.
Boston plus 135 on the money line. 26.5 is the total. As we mentioned, New York just seems to get about a 2-goal bump on the average in almost every total situation. There's no way I'm looking towards the Trash Cannons. Again, you want to talk about one of the more fraudulent teams in this league. It's the Boston Trash Cannons. They're 4-2.
What's their goal differential?
5
Yeah.
plus, which by the way, they're one of 3 teams with a positive goal or a scoring differential. But this to me is one of those games we're probably getting a better number than we should just because of the records.
I assumed this was going to be a 2.5 point spread. And I was worried because then I was going to maybe talk myself into taking the Cannons and the 2.5 points. But the fact that you're getting minus 130 laying, you only have to lay 1.5 for this Atlas team, plus 28 in score differential. You crazy? I'm all over the Atlas here. And maybe even an over game. CJ, what are you doing?
Well, like I wanted to fade New York. I think I did last time, but once they changed the goalies with Leon Entenmann, who now has a 75% save percentage in his 2 games that he's played in. It's absolute. These guys are.
What do you think you could
You're right.
save?
Maybe I should go under.
What? All right. Here's a question for you.
He was single-handedly is why the under hit. Their only under hit was because of him.
Only 2-point shots.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
out of 10 you're going against? We'll just say Teat
Okay.
or anyone really on New York. You're in goal.
Wait, Teats firing him on me.
Yeah.
I'm playing Blaze in this.
How many saves can you make out of 10?
10.
They don't even give you
Because Jeff Teat has never hit a 2-point goal, Kramer.
any. They don't give you
Just give me
any
any-
equipment. They just give you a bigger stick.
But
It
it's
just
not even
seems
that
so
big.
unfair for
It's
these
not
goals.
that
Right?
big.
It's not that big. No,
And it's
I
not
know.
like a hockey goal where your pads allow you to take up most of the
Right.
goal.
It looks like mostly they're hiding behind the stick.
I
and
feel
trying
like
not to get hit
if
from
I
it.
think
blocked
you could
one,
get-
it would be dumb luck.
Right.
No, I
Right?
think you could get lucky probably like 2 or 3 goals blocking.
I guess it's like, all right, so when you're at the batting cages and you juice it up to like 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, and you,
Yeah.
Make contact
you,
on 1
you
or 2.
swing after the ball's already hit the back mat. Yeah, I feel like if I saved 2, I'd be pretty
I'm
happy.
stopping 5. Who are we talking? What are we
Come
talking
on,
about?
CJ
From
CJ
2-point range?
Yeah,
Come on.
from 2-point range.
That's pretty fast. That ball's coming.
I'm not afraid.
I think the first one might hit you in the chest.
I mean, I'll be afraid as soon as it hits me. Yeah, and leaves a raspberry on me. I will drop the stick and run off. Say, all right, this fuck this.
You know what?
I will get the hell off the field.
I'd get in goal.
AstroTurf too. That's a big
Oh, that
difference.
bounce?
Yeah, that bounces. That skip is a big
Oh,
difference.
That's dangerous.
26.5 is the highest total ever posted in a Atlas versus Boston game. Previous high, you got to go back to 2021, 26 game did go under. So, and CJ of course pointing out how well the new Atlas goalie has been doing. I'll go under 26.5.
What's hilarious about it is they talked about him like before, like he's this phenom, he's this incredible talent. Well, why wasn't he starting? What's the problem? They had to go in there.
Well, I guess they were doing so well.
I know, right? It was one of those situations, I guess. But now he's just amazing. Yeah, and then you have Baptiste, the best faceoff guy in the league, at 64%, 75%. I mean, they're just going to keep getting better. Jeff Teat, by the way, with 44 points, his next point breaks the single season point record.
My God,
which was set last year by Harmon.
But we have like a lot of games.
I know, and we just hit the All-Star break. Is what I'm trying to say. 100 points. Is that what they have? 100 goals. Is that what the? Yeah, they have 100 goals on the season.
I mean,
they're just absolutely disgusting.
Plus 28 scoring differential.
That's incredible. Yeah, they scored 100 tallies, 100 goals. Yeah, that's just fucking amazing. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go under that 26.5 only because of this goalie. But I love New York -1.5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that lock potential, and we didn't really mention it, but it is Throwback Weekend in Fairfield, Connecticut. There are some pretty sweet.
The throwback jerseys do look pretty good.
Does that mean you're giving the Native Americans their land back?
No, they're gonna throw it all the way back to when.
That was 2 weekends ago.
That's right. That's right. That was that throwback.
When a throwback when you were allowed to live peacefully on your own lane. Hey, have you signed up with Rhythm? If not, what are you waiting for? Throwing it all the way back. Rhythm and their AI caddy off to a nice start here in the British Open. I see a friend of the program, Adam Rosenberg. He had Mackenzie Hughes birdie hole 18 because of Rhythm and their AI caddy that paid 6-1. Whoa. Are you kidding me? What a nice steal. Their projections are really good, really accurate, and it's super fun to build your own model, get in there, tweak, and you know, again, the whole stuff you can get in. If you're listening to this on Friday, you can get in round 2, round 3, round 4 for the Open. Again, get your 7-day free trial. Try it out. The college football projections are dropping soon. Stay tuned for that. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/RITHMM.
I'll give Rhythm a shout out. Last week they were all on Ludwig Aberg in the Scottish Open, who was the 3rd round leader by a couple shots. They can't help it that he was a mental midget and broke down and absolutely collapsed, but he still got a top 5. And I hit that because of Rhythm.
No model can predict that.
Yeah. So they have been on it.
Didn't we learn that's Aubert? Come on, that was your moment.
Ludwig Aubert.
That was your moment.
You should have corrected CJ's pronunciation, as everyone's been correcting mine for the entire show.
Who did I mispronounce? Ludwig
Aubert.
Right.
Yeah. I guess you don't pronounce the A, which is stupid if you ask me.
All right.
It's not very American.
Spud's probably played some lacrosse.
You think so?
I would say
for
so.
Sure.
What do you think? A long midfielder, maybe long pole.
I mean,
midfielder?
I'm not going to say he has a short stick, but you know, I could see him being a long pole defensive guy.
His poles it grows. It's not necessarily showing right.
He's
away.
a mutt fender. Instead of a mid defender, he's a mutt fender.
I'm going to say something nice about the league here. They did give some West Coast teams the late game.
Real quick, Ryan. Just catching up with the chat.
Okay.
Christian B saying it is the hardest position in the sports, hands down. With the goalie, if you have a 65% save rate, you're considered elite. My goalie used to get turf beads in his eye from the ball spraying. That sounds.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not playing at all.
All right.
I'm not. Do not even think about doing this as a challenge. Right. I would get.
I said 2 for the record.
Yeah.
You said 5, and Sean said all of them. So.
Well, it's 1-on-1, right? Now Christian B's probably talking about a game. Yeah, you know, like when there's a lot of traffic in there.
Yeah.
A lot. You know what I mean?
Honestly, that I think is a huge part of it. Is the sight line. Now, if I'm locked in, if he's just standing there and he doesn't have a running start, I'll stick by 2. 2 is my official prediction.
Well, as I was saying before, Sean quickly went to the chat. 2:30 on the West Coast here. Nice
chime in with the chat.
Nice body clock game.
Finally
for the left coast
Finally,
teams.
they've heard you.
The Utah Archers and the California Redwoods, who are on fire right now. Can't believe you can still get a 22-1 for them to win the whole thing. Redwoods are catching 1.5 here, plus 110 comes along with that nice dog price. Minus 140 the other way. Archers minus 195 on the money line. Redwoods plus 150. 29.5, 23.5 is the total. The Redwoods have turned a corner here. They are now coming off 2 straight wins. The future not coming down from this delicious price is just giving us opportunity. And I would say that as the Redwoods have started to win some games, part of that is because the competition kind of leveled off and they played some trash teams. So is Utah a good team? And will my Redwoods continue this hot streak? CJ's probably on my side, so I'll start with Sean.
This one is a little tough. I don't think the Redwoods are that good, but I don't know if the Archers deserve to be -1.5, -140 favorites.
No.
I'm going to take the Cali Woods in the money line because +150 is crazy. I'm also going to take the over 23.5 in part because now Dan Newbie Alexander wasn't able to join us for the episode. However, he did send over his baby whale play of the day.
The Oracle.
The Oracle himself sent this over. He likes the first half over 12 in the Woods Archers game.
Wow.
I did notice the whole first half section over on the book there.
I like this.
Utah has been outscoring teams like crazy in the first quarter. Redwoods haven't scored double digits versus Archers in 4 straight games. They know they have to keep pace. Offense has looked better earlier in games for the Woods. So he's probably doesn't maybe think the Woods might collapse. Either way, he's making some good points there on the over for the first half. I'll ride the over for the game, but the Redwoods +150. I'll roll the dice here. I need a little plus money action here for my card. CJ, what are you doing?
I like that first half over. Maybe our guy Robbie Pinnell, the old man, can finally get a time adjusted, like body time clock adjusted game where he'll be his natural self. And of course, Utah, led by Grant Met, who did a little position switch this year and really revolutionized his career. Now he leads the league in unassisted goals. Now that he's in the midfield,
I like that.
Yeah, but here's my angle, and this is why I am on our Redwoods.
Yeah, our Redwoods.
Well,
we have an alliance.
Oh, I had to rally those Redwoods for us. When you're
That's
down
true.
and out on them, but we're
That's
back in.
true.
So I'll take out our Redwoods. We do have an alliance. Chaos and Woods get along. Definitely taking the +1.5 as my play here at even money. You gotta love that.
Or, wait, it's +110 for +1.5.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm switching mine to that because they could easily lose by 1 here. So
I'm going to save that money line for my pole, not to look ahead. But here you go. Here's your revenge angle. Last year in Fairfield, Connecticut.
Oh boy.
We had a weekend here. Same matchup. California, Utah. California scored 3 goals in that game.
Oh boy.
But I like that. That's what they've been stewing on. This is the revenge at same town, same people, same little side chicks coming out to see them and seeing this game. They have to redeem themselves with a 3-goal effort.
I love the PLL side chicks. If you're a PLL groupie, please hit us up.
Yeah, I mean, most of the league makes less than like a human resources coordinator over there at the PLL.
Yeah, but they have a finance side job. Didn't you ever seen the TikTok trend? They're looking for a guy in finance, blue eyes, that thing. That's what you're going to get at the PLL.
Yeah, I will say,
fit finance.
You don't want a
broker?
Duke finance fucking graduate, of course.
Flying off the shelves here.
Great degree.
All right.
I will say.
Is there like a think Jeff Teat has like a Rolodex where he's got like, or maybe maybe Jeff Teat and his wife have an understanding like, hey, keep those road holes and goals out of here.
No,
as long as it's on the road, Jeff. I don't care. But homecoming weekend, I don't want to see any of those.
Don't bring those whores around in homecoming weekend.
I'd imagine the lacrosse teams just sit around and compare business cards.
Oh, like
American Psycho.
Something like that.
I think that actually the better you are on the lacrosse on a team, the less groupies you get. Like Jeff Teat, because he's so good, no one wants any parts of him because he's going to stay in the league. They want a guy who's going to bounce out, who knows this ain't the future for him, and he's going to put that actual, like you said, a diploma to use.
Stop using your PTO on your Friday games. I want to go to Cabo. Which again, coming back to my Redwoods, I just want to remind people they didn't play week 1 because they had a bye.
Yes.
They then were hosed on a unreviewed play where I believe they scored the most goals against Blaze all season.
Yeah, they did.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And then they played the Atlas, who looked like a runaway train. and then another hose job against the Outlaws, and of course we all remember the body clock situation, and a win. So they're basically 1-0. You can still get 22-1 on the future. They've only played 4 games. Some teams have played 6.
I know. That's what's amazing.
Do the math.
I got Chris Gray, Ryder Garbers. They can.
Do they play the same amount of games in the regular season?
I don't think they
I know that's a silly question.
Right? No, it's not. There's no silly questions in this league.
We're kind of just assuming they play all the same number of games.
Well,
have we double checked that?
We have.
Also, I don't think they played against Blaze.
You're probably.
He was out.
He was out.
It sounded better when you just agreed.
Nice try, Kramer.
Sounded better.
I was going to let it go, but I can't take Blaze slander here.
So we're going to take California plus 1.5. We're going to look at the money line, and I think at this point, the Redwoods.
We're going to look at the money line. Classic tout. Does that mean you're playing it or you're not?
Well, stay tuned to later in the show.
We're going to look at it
when I give out the Pole, and I look at that money line long and hard. And then what's the last thing we need? Under over. I think they're a dead under team until I see the Redwoods actually score a bunch of goals.
I love how Ryan acts like he thinks about what he's gonna do total wise, and then just takes the under for now 20 straight plays.
No, I had 2 overs last week.
California's 3-1 to the under, and Utah is 3-2 to the under. And
CJ, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna have to go under there.
Under 23.5. Lone over for me.
Okay.
California's got to start putting the old ball in the back of the net for you to be. I mean, how many weeks are you going to see California score like 9 goals?
Yeah.
Be like, they're getting the over this week.
They need to.
They're due.
Yeah.
Offense is due. All right, time for our lock, and Pole. Kramer, we have not hit a Pole yet, so we are so due.
All right, my lock, New York minus 1.5.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh, I want to take it, but I'm looking at your lock record, and it's damn near 10%.
I'm just gonna start fading the trash cannons every week. My lock number 2 is under in the Blaze game.
God damn it,
man! This is gonna get gross.
And my Pole is Denver money line, Carolina money line.
Oh, I'm feeling better already.
What
about the Water Dogs?
And all 4 unders. So it's a 6-legger.
6-legger. All right.
Because I don't think they'll go 8 legs in the PLL, but 6 legs we should be able to get.
Pole. 6-legger. That's beautiful.
Oh man, I was gonna use the same locks as Kramer, but I feel like they're cursed.
Why? Because the past.
Yes.
The past isn't the best indicator.
I'll say this: I also was thinking about those same exact locks. So.
Oh no!
Definitely a sign to get off them.
All right. Let's see. You know what?
I don't like this. I feel like my locks are being slandered.
I'm gonna adjust.
That was just an all 3 of us agreeing thing. That was nothing to do. That was nothing to do with your locks. I like your 10% locks. That means you're due.
Yeah, I am wildly.
I'm gonna adjust my play on the Water Dogs from the money line to Philly minus 1.5. I'm back, dogs. Give me one more chance.
It's gross.
And I'm gonna make them a lock. And then I will, even though.
Some have said wildly entertaining.
I will co-sign the Whip Snakes.
Really?
Chaos under lock. Yes. For my Pole, give me a New York Atlas minus 1.5.
Give me a funny word.
Give me the under in the Philly game. Give me Philly minus 1.5.
Don't do that to yourself. What are you doing? You lock them up too. What are you doing?
And
what are you doing?
Wait, the under and a minus 1.5.
What are you doing?
Right. One of them's got to hit.
What are you doing?
No,
that's
you're
not correlating. Right,
so
you're sharper than
Atlas
that.
minus 1.5. Philly minus 1.5.
You're spilling EV all over.
Carolina on the money line, and that's it. 3-team Pole. CJ.
All right. Locks New York minus 1.5.
Yeah, you gotta.
Second lock, I'll go Carolina minus 115.
Oh, okay.
Instead of doing the under, and I'll toss the under in my Pole. The Pole start with the Carolina under 2+ money lines. That's the way I like to go. We're gonna go Denver plus 130 and California plus 140. So what would that be? That's a 10-1 shot right there, right? With the under to Carolina,
3-leg parlay.
3-leg Pole.
Yeah. So sorry,
plus 140, plus 130, minus 110.
So sorry, CJ. You got Carolina
minus 115 is a lock. New York -1.5 is a lock.
Yes.
Pole, the under in Carolina, under Blaze, till further notice. Denver +130. California +140.
California +140.
Unless you get better numbers, juice them up.
And you know what? I'm
7-1,
gonna adjust my parlay. Christian in the chat has swung me.
Fade Kramer. Who's this guy? Who's this fucking guy?
Philly under, Carolina under, Atlas -1.5.
All right, that's I like that.
I actually like that one.
What's this?
Philly under, and then
but that Philly over's hitting.
Carolina.
Brendan O'Neill's going to make us pay again. I'm telling you.
He really is. I have a feeling come Friday afternoon.
He's going to be down to 12-1 again. I mean, that's impossible just because of Jeff Teat, unless Jeff Teat rolls his ankle. God forbid.
Look out, the Teat maker. Thank you, everyone. I'm laughing at the chat going off, saying green is a stupid color, Kramer. I thought he was shitting on me, but he was making fun of the California Redwoods and their color green.
Jesus.
Woo, it's smoking my weed.
Enjoy staying inside all the time.
Yes. And RIP to my Shane Lowry first round leader. Thank you everyone for reaching out. It was
no one reached out.
No one reached out, but I played one first round leader and
Really?
damn it.
That was your only play?
Only play.
Oh, wow. That's pretty amazing.
The entire morning, Sean is rooting aggressive for Sean Lowry. I'm like, what happened? Did you bet the first round leader or something? He's like, no, I just want him to win the tournament. And so the entire
because Ryan was sitting over there actively jinxing Shane Lowry. He should have been -7. He had the two great reads on a couple birdies, and Kramer's like, yeah, fuck you, Shane Lowry. So yeah, I didn't want to say I also bet him first round. If you listened to the show that you were on, you would have heard I gave out one first round leader, and it was Shane Lowry, and it should have hit. I love it. Love how surprised CJ was when I only bet one first round.
Well, I
leader.
mean, that's unheard of. That's amazing.
How many first round leaders?
Yeah.
Well, I bet one last time, and
you hit it. We know you hit it with Rory. I know.
I
You
didn't wanna
beat Mike
bring it up.
DeShane, but no, it's fine.
How many first round leaders?
You had the
did
magic
you have,
touch.
CJ?
I don't know. We don't have to bring out the details of my portfolio, but
okay.
We'll just say we have. We're still alive in a few of them. The first round leaders, I've learned to scale back because that gets ugly real quick once that first day's over. Like, God, what did I do?
Especially with the British Open, because you wake up and you're like, well, I'm fucked.
Yeah,
it's like that text thread that one of those golf sharps put out about their hedge, where it's just like, all right, well, we're gonna lose 2.1 million.
Yeah.
What do you think about a little position over here?
I'll say this. I also had a Shane Lowry first round leader, small, and it probably would have got me even if I did hit that.
So
I also did a Lowry lower 5.5 on underdog with
that hits.
With Tom Kim to have one eagle.
Oh no!
So that would have won me $3,000.
Wow.
It was like 80 or 90 to 1 on underdog. I put like $40 on it and did not hit. Tom Kim, complete collapse.
Somebody did eagle today, though, right?
Can't win them.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Can't win them all.
I mean,
was there a hole in one today?
Can't win them all. Golf stuff.
Can't
4.
win 'em
I
all.
would go with the first touchdown rule applies. The first round leader.
That's what
4.
I got
4.
during the famed DeChambeau McElroy first round leader of U.S. Open. That's what I got from Sean. Golf's tough, man.
Yeah.
when DeChambeau missed that 4 putt, boy, golf. You know what? Just a tough sport to bet. It's just brutal. And then right back. All right, here we go.
Sean gets the. He gets the.
I hit one golf bet the whole fucking season. Guy can't fist bump.
Gets the blinders on.
Yeah.
No respect.
Right,
Just
absolutely.
stomping in your line. Just stomping in your line.
Metal spikes. He found a sprinkler down there,
Yeah,
like McIntyre. Whoa! Can I get a drop? I found a sprinkler with my spikes.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. As always, make sure you subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network with C.J. Sullivan. We'll be back tomorrow. Bonus best ball episode, Underdog Fantasy, and then we got our VSiN show, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock East.
Real quick.
Thank you for participating.
Roll Dodge at the end, boys.
Yes.
If you didn't see John,
Whoa,
go
look
watch
at
The
that.
daily.
That actually looks like my picture anyway. I just filled it in for daily.
Just go get just watch a clip of John Daly. He can play at this tournament until as long as he wants. It's amazing.
What do we do? Lax on 3?
Yeah.
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
Lex.
Oh, man.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Nice work.
Kramer. Let it ride.